framing right?
Got you, bro.
All right.
Last
framing
words?
good? Love you, boys.
See ya.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. See ya.
It went a little right.
All right, shalom. It's just using that image, to present to you that, hey, guess what? Reincarnation exists in the scriptures, and when you come back, you read, hey, what did he say? It says, me saying my last goodbye to the angels when God sends me back down to work on myself. Which, this is mostly geared towards Esau, this lesson. These Idumeans geared towards E. But, hey, the reason why we're all back here is because we were all sent back to work on ourselves, primarily us Israelites. Before, as far as this demonic red man, he's been sent back for judgment, which is another reason why you get sent back. Because that's going to be the work. You're about to get the work on yourself to make your ass know that you fucked up. That whatever you was doing in the past life, as well as in this one, you're about to reap it now. All right, which is one of the reasons why you so-called white people don't believe in the in you don't believe in the Most High for one, but you don't want to. You call yourselves being Christian. You don't like to believe that reincarnation is in the scriptures, because you have to look at everything you've done beforehand, or what you could have done beforehand, aside from the things that you've done in this life, in which everyone's done some wicked shit in this lifetime as well. But okay, as far as little children and babes, they have also done things in their past lives. So yes, starting with the scripture Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise. So this is the reason why it's going to be slaughter to your children, because guess what? It's for the iniquity of the fathers. Because guess what? In the kingdom, the elites are going to bring back you Edomites, you Idumeans that die on this side. Nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. All right? It even says, you read verse 20, it says that you shall not be with them in burial, talking about there's going to come a time that after you've served your servitude, you're not going to be with the rest of the other nations who are going to be able to enjoy the kingdom as they would in regular life, man. As being just not of course Israelite citizens, but they would enjoy it as regular heathen citizens, understanding their place, and having joy and understanding that they're supposed to serve us. You're not going to get to do that. You're going to be destroyed, according to your iniquity. This is the Lord bringing all these things back upon you for your judgment. All right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 34. It says, therefore it shall be that you will subdue your own understanding, talking to Ezra the prophet, and reform your hearts, you shall be kept alive, and after death you shall obtain mercy, meaning he's going to come back in the reincarnation and be in a higher place, which is in the kingdom. Men are gonna be redeemed from reincarnation after reincarnation. Israelite men. Right now, the only thing we can do is pray that we were those men in the past life, and we obtain that mercy by teaching this truth unto the end, and we would do it in the same lifetime to be redeemed. It says, for after death shall the judgment come. That's going to be the continuance, that we're going to continue to come back as the prophets, teaching this word directly and correctly. And it says, when we shall live again, and then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. It says the works of the godly and of the ungodly shall be declared, man. It's going to be made known who is who. And then that's when the official time of judgment is going to come. Because if you've been fucking up since the beginning, you're going to reap your recompense. Mainly Esau, Edom. All right? And a precept to that is going to be, it's Luke. This is Luke chapter 16, verse 19. It says, there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate, full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. I'm talking about, the different heathen. But that certain rich man, we also know is to be Esau Edom, all right? That he shall not be laid with the other heathens and buried. This is a certain man that came and he did what? He subjected us to certain pains and ritual of a wicked government, and he put the dogs over us, the low heathen. And it says, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. Meaning, he went to rest with the fathers, and then guess what? After that, he was in paradise. Abraham's bosom, if I'm not mistaken, goes into the kingdom. All right. It says, and the rich man also died and was buried. And it says, and in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. Seeing us in the kingdom, man. That once this lifetime is over with, not saying that, Lazarus didn't even have to physically die. It's really talking about that, that we're going to put off this flesh. That this lifestyle, that this life that we're in right now is going to die. This flesh that we're in is going to die. We're going to be made into new bodies. We're going to be into the kingdom. So that's what that's essentially going into. Whether you have an Israelite man that passes on or not. Just to get out of the breakdown, man. Because not all brothers are gonna pass away, but Lazarus stands for the elect. Really the whole nation, but primarily the elect. All right, it says, and in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeing Abraham afar off. Talking about Esau. Idumea, Slakia. I'm trying to keep the right words in retrospect, but it says and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom, meaning at rest. Because that's what we're going to be, man. Sooner or later, we're about to be at rest, And, starting with the elites, they're going to bring back the rest of the Edomite, the Idumeans into the kingdom, Whether, like I said, whether they pass on or not. The thing is that we're going to be in a whole new world, all right? They're going to come back and they're going to receive their judgment as we're going to receive ours, by the blessing of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. He's going to redeem certain of us, and then he's going to, through certain elect men, he's going to redeem the whole nation and bring them back, to receive their judgment as all right, they passed on and were destroyed, and they came back and they received the promise, which was also a judgment that the Lord said, okay, you're not worthy, but you're worthy of this. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in his flame. Which, like I said, Idumea is going to get the worst of the judgments, man. They're going to get the worst of the judgments, and then after that, they're going to get destroyed, and they're not going to have a part with the rest of the kings in burial. The rest of those other nations that were brought down, they're gonna have a lot, far as still being being able to thrive. Idumea is still not gonna have that, man. They're gonna be destroyed and dispersed for our spirits, so that their wickedness never rises up again, man. And it says, in verse 25, but Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things, which is the judgment. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go back to that Isaiah 14. Because it's Isaiah 14 and 2. It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. Talking about who? Talking about Idumea. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Because remember that you once oppressed us. So when we get our time to oppress you, you can't say anything. You're just reaping your judgment. You came back down on the earth, and yes, oh shit, them babies, them Idumean babies are gonna be crying. That spirit's gonna know that they came back to get something. They came back to receive something, man. You ain't gonna have to smack that baby to know that it's alive. That baby's gonna come out crying and understanding that it has a place in this world and it's under our boots. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna finish this off, and then I'm gonna go back to that verse. It says, "And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve." Remember, Lazarus received those evil things, and those good things, man. And the Lord shall work that thing that he promised. Remember that good thing that he promised? Well, this is that good thing that the Lord promised, man. That he's going to give us our enemies into our hands. I don't know what these Christian churches are talking about, man. What is the gospel, man? This is a good thing, man. This is what this is talking about. It's not talking about anything else. Yeah, nah, man. We ain't down with what old boy did slamming I don't know what he was on, man. He was either an agent or he was not dealing with Great Millstone or likewise camps who understand the truth. We ain't trying to slam no SUV into you. We ain't trying to do none of that. Go through a parade. No, the thing we're trying to do is going to be godly to where we cannot be stopped. Nothing you will do will be able to stop us. You won't physically be able to stop us. But understanding we don't have that power, we submit ourselves unto this government. But within this government, we don't have to celebrate your holidays. We don't have to push your agenda. We don't have to say that being a homosexual is okay. We exercise what you say is the so-called freedom of speech, which is in our kingdom. It's not going to be how you say it. And we exercise that to the fullest because the Lord said that it's okay to do such. That we are subjected to the higher powers, but that doesn't mean we have to obey you as far as serving you through your deceits, is what I'll say, because your deceits are really not lawful. Those are the things that you're trying to push into laws, but according to your constitution, it's not lawful. We haven't threatened anybody, nor have we, shit. We don't even. Hey, as a matter of fact, it's one thing we don't keep, far as in the constitution, is that the right to bear arms. We don't do that. We're spiritual men, understanding that the Lord is he's really gonna jack you up if you touch us. And we're just really waiting on you to do that. We're waiting on you to make those, like the brother said out in Cali, man. We're waiting on you to push more of those BIEs, man. Or more of those BLMs, BHIs, whatever you want to call them. Black. So that the Lord will be justified in doing what he has to do. But I'm going to continue on in the scripture. And it's verse 25. It says, "And Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things, but now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed." Letting you know that Abraham also himself is going to be a partaker in the kingdom, man. And it said that it's a great difference between me and you. You had your time, and I couldn't partake in that. That would be unfair. Just likewise, it would be unfair for you to partake in the things that we're about to partake in. That's the reason why our father Isaac, our forefather Isaac, gave Esau a blessing. It was prophetic. It was meant to be that he was going to rule over us in these times, man. And that, he would be the end of the world. And likewise, Jacob, the beginning of that followeth. Idumea. He would be the end of the world. Says, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot. So, hey, you can't be on our side. It's this scripture right here, that guys like vocab and different types of grape juice drinking Christians don't like. It's in the New Testament, man. And it says this, that y'all can't be a partaker in our kingdom. But you can keep on pushing that stuff. You can keep on saying it. You have to. You're set up to do it. You're not only set up by your people who have you set up to do it, but you're actually set up by the Spirit. And it's not set up for good. It's set up for the left-hand side of wickedness. The reason why you're doing this is falseness. Because y'all don't have a part in our kingdom at all. Neither can they pass to us. That would come from thence. You cannot. You can't have a partake in our kingdom. Hey, it was only promised unto Israel. That's the reason why you got your share. Let's go back to the book of Genesis real quick. That's what this was all about. Genesis 27. And that's the reason why you cried so loud. Actually, I'm going to start with the whole story. This is Genesis chapter 27. Because this was all by spirit that this happened. It was not by deceit, because guess what? Aside from Esau, Idumea selling his birthright to his brother Jacob, even the mother had partook in such things because the Spirit had laid these things on her. And when she prayed to the Spirit when she was pregnant, it told her what was to happen. But I'm starting at verse 15. It says, and Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son E, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. All right? Because, it says how he was, as far as physical feature. And she gave the savory meat in the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob, which, like I said, he was hairy, but that does not mean that the word means hairy. It does not mean hairy, but they are some hairy motherfuckers if you want to give the breakdown. Going on, verse 18, it says, and he came unto his father and said, my father. And he said, here am I. Who art thou, my son? Because Isaac, basically could not tell the difference, since it says that his eyes that went dim. He could not see who his son was. He couldn't see if it was E, or he couldn't see if it was Jacob. All right? But that was by spirit that these things had happened. And Jacob said unto his father, I am E, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? Which shows you that they say that, hey, E is a cunning hunter, but he's a shitty ass hunter, man. There's a lot better ways to do certain shit that, he couldn't do. Because when he came to this land, who taught him how to hunt? Who taught him how to plant and how to bathe? Jacob. The Gadites, man. But going, back to this lesson, Salaki. It says, and he said, because the Lord Yahweh thy God brought it to me, which is the proper spirit to say it, because he actually did, And that spirit, Jacob did not lie. It was through his mother, because if you go back to the beginning of the story, starting at chapter 25, it says how these things were done. All right? That the younger shall rule over the older. All right? Verse 21, it says, and Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son E or not. And Jacob said, and Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, thy voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of E. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother E. It's like as his brother E hands were. So he blessed him and said, art thou my very son E? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And came near and kissed him, and smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field, which is the Lord Yahweh hath blessed. You know, because he basically said he smelled like an animal. Because that's what Rebecca put upon him, was the raiment of a hairy animal. Therefore the Most High gives thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine, which is basically the inheritance of the earth. That's the blessing, that we will inherit the earth and everything else that comes with it, which is really, he basically gave him the spirit, because he said that the Lord Yahweh, that the Most High give this to thee. It says, let people serve thee, and the nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that his brother, came in from his hunting. So that was by natural design that all that happened. You can only see that as a spirit, because you got to see how that happened. Soon as he got done doing that, he came in happy as hell. Shit, I'm about to talk to Dad. All right, he about to give me this, man. Being deceptive, really, because you just sold this. You sold your right. All right. It says, and he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise, and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest. And I blessed him. Yeah, he shall be blessed. He shall be. I mean, he couldn't undo it. He couldn't undo it. So this was by natural design. It was not stolen. Because hey, if it can't be undone, as it goes into, as a matter of fact, let me grab that so that y'all understand this. Because this is the whole blessing part of it. When you go into this, reason why Paul broke it down that way. And this whole thing is talking about Israelites. It's not talking about heathens getting in, especially not E. Because that's the number one heathen everybody want to get in is E. The number one guy that's fucking up. Oh, he can do no wrong. He's still a child of God. Although he's done all his wickedness, he can still be received. Galatians 3:15. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant. Yet if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth or addeth thereto. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. So that's the killer right there. He says, not and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Hamashiach. Because even, if you can receive it, that was Yahushua who was Isaac, for one. And two, this is all the thing of bringing back the elect, starting with Yahushua, who was called Jesus Christ. All right? Which is the chosen. If you want to even break that word down. Christ meaning oil, anointed. Really, it's supposed to be translated as Messiah, but it means oil, which is how you would anoint somebody to choose somebody as a certain office. This is the chosen, starting with the Messiah, Mashiach. But going back to that Genesis. So this is the covenant that you cannot disannul. Because Isaac himself couldn't do it. So what makes you people think that y'all can? Isaac couldn't disannul this covenant. Yeah. And he shall be blessed. Verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, It has taken away that blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. Liar. Lied to his dad. And his dad felt bad for him because, hey, he said it's written that he did love him more. And he probably, can prize love more aside from him being the oldest, It's a little different. But he made up by doing what? Bringing in venison to his father because his father loved, things like venison would be certain deer and if I'm not mistaken, I think even the lamb is comprised of that. Showing you once again that was the Lord. Certain things that he would eat, but he liked those different savory meats, man. Those are special things, special gifts that he brought unto his father. It says, for he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, which is the same thing. And behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. He didn't take away the birthright. That birthright was given unto him. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto E, behold, I have made him thy Lord. Meaning, I can't take this away. I can't take this away. And all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and with wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Meaning that this was going to be continual. That's really what Isaac was breaking down. So what you're about to see in this ladder that he's about to speak unto E, as far as what he's going to give him, that couldn't have been a continual blessing. It couldn't have been, because he said, like, what can I do? This is something that's going to happen. This has to happen. So whatever you may get in the meantime, it's definitely not going to last. This man is meant to be over all this. Now, when it says his brethren, it's talking about all nations, all families of the earth. That initially, now we all come from Adam, and we all come from the loins of Noah. All brethren, all families of the earth. Verse 38, it says, and E said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live. That blessing, that's the blessing he was given. And thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the domain. Talking about this is the time when he's going to be able to, whenever time he gets lifted up and he has to rule, this is what's going to happen. That thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Now, it never said this is going to keep on happening continually. This is not a forever thing. It's only happened a few times in history with E, man. But this is the last time. And E hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him, and said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. Which is the times that we're coming in. All right? Because this is the time of the end of E. This is the end of his empire, man, and he knows it. This is the last time where he's broken his bonds off his neck and he's had dominion over Jacob and the rest of the earth. Now, he's about to be underfoot forever until he is no more. Because the only way, we're going to be righteous, but the throne of iniquity shall not have fellowship with thee. So that means it's going to come a time where he can't exist. It's not going to be no uprising of E, man. This is the last time. We're going to put an end to this, man. But with that, I'm going to end this lesson off and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kavadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Salaki who rule well. And salutations to the hopeful elect brothers out there pushing this truth. Shalom and Abba Ball.